Well, we survived an interstate rivalry game, not shooting the ball exceptionally well, and I'm happy with the win because we gutted this thing out. You know, you play 30 nights out of the year, and you're not always going to be just rock solid sharp and rock solid energy. You could tell this was the third game in 6 days for us. You know, I thought the try was there, but we were just, the execution was maybe a little tired. But sometimes you have to win that way. So really happy with how these two performed, especially late game. We made some big plays, and that's what you got to do in a tough, tight game.
After beating them so handily last year, just in general, were you anticipating such a tight matchup with UNC?
Absolutely. They're different. They're different. We're different. You know, they're a unique team because they put those 4 point guards out there that they're playmakers. They penetrate, they kick on time, on target, they shoot it. And so they had us on our heels early. I thought going to the zone, it just kind of, it got them a little stale. And we were able to keep them in front of us, and they had to shoot over the top of us. So our length came into play more with our zone. But yeah, we were ready for a tight game. We really were.
What did you like best about the way your team just kind of handled? Like you said, you might not have showed up right at 2:05, but eventually they found ways to get things done. What does that show you about a team that's tired?
Yeah, it just I like the poise that we played with. You know, we found different ways throughout the game to score the ball, and so it just showed that we played with the poise, we played with a toughness, and I thought we played with more of an intelligence tonight than we have in a while. We went through the pro most every single possession, and I thought our reads were really, really solid. They were really packed in, and you know, we were going to have to make some plays off the pass, and I thought we did that. But we haven't been in this situation this year. We've either been getting blown out or vice versa. And so to be in this tight game for 40 minutes, I'm okay with it. And to be able to make some free throws, late game situation, to get the ball in bounds, to catch under pressure, this was really good for us.
Ellen, was there a point there, it seemed like early in the midway through the first quarter, you kind of felt like you were going to have to at least set a tone offensively?
Yeah, I mean, I just kind of got frustrated because, I mean, our shots wasn't falling, so I was just trying to get some easy points through the pro, and that's, I mean, how the game ended up being kind of.
So you guys ended up pulling away in the fourth quarter. The first three were obviously pretty close. Were there any major switches you made that you think resulted in that, or did your team just play better?
Well, we going into the fourth, she was going to shoot, or she was going to touch the ball every single time. You know, we were going to play through that pro every single time. And you saw Sophie take that quick three, and Sophie came right out of the game because our best player was going to touch the ball where she could facilitate every single possession. So we made that adjustment. And I just think the kids amped up their activity in the zone. You know, I think they were more determined on the ball. We were more active off the ball, and then we rebounded extremely well. And so
you say you got more active as the game went on and kind of put in more effort down the stretch? Because at the starting of the third quarter, I heard you scream out, "Why aren't we diving on the floor?" Would you say UNC kind of out-hustled you guys in the first half, but then you turned up the intensity?
I don't know if I'd say they out-hustled us. It just, you know, if there's a 50-50 ball, we need to be leaving some skin on the floor, and we didn't. So is that all I said? You heard me say? Are you going to print that? Because okay, my mom watches and reads your stuff. Okay, good.
Hannah, how big was that spurt just to kind of start that fourth quarter, to give you a little bit of separation, to give you some calm to the team?
Yeah, I mean, I just think that we just had to be more aggressive offensively, and that was going through the pro. And we just knew if we kept going into that, giving the ball to Ellen, it'll give us shots too out on the perimeter. So that's just one thing that we kept playing through, and it was working, and that's how we got our lead and pulled ahead.
On a night like this, does Ellen's game play more significance for your team when you need somebody to kind of direct you to the right place?
Yeah, I mean, Ellen, she just knows how to score the ball, and so going to her, and when she gets going, it'll help the rest of us to get going too. So.
Ellen, you had a monster game tonight. Would you say you're pretty comfortable being the leader of this team now? Obviously, it took some time, but would you say you're in mid-season form with that?
Yeah, I'm still not struggling with it, but it's a new role for me. But
Yeah.
he keeps being in my ear about score. So I hear it every day.
Right.
How
So I'm
often
getting
do
used
you
to it.
hear from him? Be more aggressive.
Uh,
assert yourself?
oof. In practice, about
Too
every
much.
fifth
She wants
minute,
to
maybe.
punch me. So,
You're running out of west.
Yeah. Yes, everybody on the team knows it. So.
and not that you have to score all the time.
No.
You know, it's just if you can be a point guard from that spot on the floor as well. You know, there's a number of places on the floor to facilitate, and you know where she caught tonight. That's just where we were best. You know, sometimes up top you have those quick guards on you. You know, that's a little more difficult for her. I'm really happy with her last two basketball games. And, you know, Big T down here, I mean, those were two big threes that she made late. And to have the courage to make those on a night where we're not shooting it well, I think we learned we have maybe a little more courage than I thought. This was a good test for us.
And you guys didn't shoot a free throw, I think it was until about 5 minutes left in the third quarter. Were both teams too comfortable settling into a perimeter game, not trying to actually push any action in the paint?
Yeah, I don't know. I just think that's something that every game we need to get better at. That's one big thing that we're focusing on is getting to the line. Yeah, and just I think going through the pro, that'll help get to the line more, but because we have in past games settled for threes. But yeah, getting to the line is definitely something that.
Now, do you actually find it easier? Do you see the floor better? It seemed like a lot of your assists came out of that pro set. Do you find it easier to find open lanes, passing lanes, feed your teammates better in that?
Yeah, I do. It's easy because you see the whole floor and you see, you know, where everybody's heads are turned, and you can see who can cut, you know, who's helping. So it's kind of easy getting assists from there.
Ellen, what's your mindset going into the CU game? They're ranked 21 right now. You guys are going on the road to play them. It's obviously a big game for you guys. You barely beat them last year. How are you feeling going into that?
Well, I mean, it's always fun playing CU. It doesn't matter if they're ranked or not. It's always, and I know it's going to be a tight game like it's been the last 4 years. So
Right.
it's going to be really fun.